Good afternoon and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today, we're going to discuss a little bit about the immigration options for those who can apply for the National Interest Waiver, which is another way to get residency in the United States through employment. Before we begin, there are a couple things that I want to remind everyone. If you like what you are seeing, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you will get more information about up-to-date immigration topics, which I will be discussing shortly. Also, you can find information about us at our website at www.tntvisa.com, or you can reach out to us via email at info@tntvisa.com, or via text, or via WhatsApp or regular text at 754-610-7266. Before we begin to discuss the National Interest Waiver, I do want to give you some updates on some new immigration news. Basically, last week, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a budget bill, which is being sent over to the Senate. In that budget bill were some key immigration reform benefits. Basically, one of them is if you are a dreamer or into temporary protected status, you once the bill passes, there will be a way for you to be able to get residency in the United States. You will have to pay about a $1,500 fine based on the other fees as well. And that would apply once this becomes law. There will be other regulations and ways to discuss how to do that. So that should be something that should come into effect in 2022. These are for those who have TPS status or in Dreamer status prior to January 1st of 2021. For those of you who have been in the United States since January 1st of 2011, there's also provision for you to be able to seek a parole into the United States, which would allow you to then be able to get a work permit and travel documents so that you could legally enter and leave the United States and legally work in the United States, getting a Social Security number. What is very important about this is even if you've overstayed your visa, or if you enter the United States illegally, as long as you entered prior to January 1st of 2011, you could apply for this. And what the bill specifically states is that they are not going to notify other areas of immigration such that they would then get your information and put you in deportation proceedings. That is something that they would not do. So this is a recommended course of action for immigration and would be something that would be good for all people involved. Now, today that we want to discuss a little bit about the National Interest Waiver. Now, the National Interest Waiver is available to those who have either an advanced degree, meaning a master's or above, or someone who has exceptional ability. In order to prove exceptional ability, you must be able to provide documentation proving three of the following items: whether or not you have a degree in the area of expertise, 10 years of experience in the area of expertise, a license to practice that particular type of a license to practice, such like as an architect license or engineering license or something like that. Membership in a professional association. And then the final one is evidence showing that you have achievements in your field of expertise, which is typically done by letters from other individuals, including those from your peers. These could be colleagues, friends, former employees, bosses, things like that, showing that you have provided a significant achievement in your field. Now, once you can prove that you have either a master's degree or you are an alien of exceptional ability, you then can apply for the National Interest Waiver. And what the National Interest Waiver does is it allows you to seek residency without having to go through the PERM process, which is what we discussed last week. This is a benefit for many people, as long as you could apply. Now, I will say that this is a more difficult process, not necessarily easy, but it is a faster option, and it is available to you who have advanced degrees or have exceptional ability. Now, there are certain things that you would want to consider and look into as you are doing that. The first thing is you want to determine whether or not you're going to be working, what you're going to be doing in the United States, working in your field of excellence or expertise, whatever you have a degree in. whether or not that has substantial merit and national importance. What that means is that you're not going to impact just a local area, but whether or not you're going to impact a variety of different areas. For example, if you're doing research on diabetes, or you're doing research on AIDS, or let's say that you were doing something. We had a client once that was working in um, modifying and making sure that iPhones and other Apple products were up to snuff, which was a national importance based on the fact that all the research and development is in the United States. And the more market share that Apple has, the better it is for American workers in the US economy. So the next thing that you need to do is you have to be able to show that you have the skills to do the work that is going to be offered. Basically, whether or not you're going to be able to do what is positioned before you, whether or not, for example, if you're going to be working in marketing, whether or not you have the actual skills to do marketing, whether or not you're going to be doing research, whether or not you've actually done the skills to do research. There's a variety of different things that you have to look. But these two points, the first one, which is substantial merit and national importance, and that you have the skills to do what is being offered, those are the two areas that are typically the easiest. The third one is the one that most people have trouble obtaining, and that is with respect to whether or not seeking this waiver would be beneficial to the U.S. And then what the immigration is looking for is a couple of different things. Whether or not it makes sense to even apply for the perm process. Let's say, for example, that you have such a high set of skills and a high set of responsibilities that no one else could ever really qualify for what you do. In that situation, you don't need to really go through the perm process, because it's very clear that if you go through the perm process, no one's going to be doing it, and it's just a waste of time. Another thing would be like urgency. For example, with the whole pandemic, with the COVID-19 pandemic, those who were doing research on finding cures or vaccines for COVID, those are people that it was a sense of urgency to make sure that they would have them here. So you shouldn't have to go through the perm process, which can take 9 months to well over a year to process. And then the final thing is whether or not your entry into the U.S. is beneficial to the U.S. Again, you're looking at a variety of different factors, which would be what are you actually doing work for that you're applying for the national interest waiver? For example, if you are, again, doing research to help with the vaccine or for the cure for COVID-19, obviously that is something that is very beneficial to the United States and to the world as a whole. So these are a variety of different things that you have to consider whether or not you could apply for the national interest waiver. If you believe that you have if you do have a master's degree or higher, or if you feel that you would be an alien that has exceptional ability based on the criteria that we've discussed, this is something that we can review and determine whether or not you would actually be able to apply for. And so we would ask that you just reach out to us via email at info@tntvisa.com or via text at 754-610-7266. Again, WhatsApp also is available, 754-610-7266. Thank you again for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you will find more information about immigration. And you can always find more information about us, immigration, and about the people that work with me and our team at www.tntvisa.com. Thank you very much.